Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Why should a child who is an American citizen have to pack up and move to a country that they don't know?
Because their parent obviously entered the country illegally, had a child knowing he was in the country illegally, so he created it. Last year, 184,000 illegal aliens were released into the United States. Under this administration, 9. 4 of them were material witnesses in a criminal investigation. We need them here to testify in a serious criminal trial. 4 was extreme medical condition. We couldn't return them because they were in such bad shape. And 1 was a humanitarian issue. This is unprecedented. There is no equal, it's not even close. So God bless the men and women of the Border Patrol. God bless the men and women of ICE who strap a gun to the hip every day, put on a Kevlar vest to not only secure our border and protect our national security, but the ICE agents in the interior, they're removing public safety threats and national security threats every day. While you're all sleeping at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there are men and women out there enforcing the law, making this country safe again. And we're going to keep doing it. It's full speed ahead.
Rise and shine. It's a brand new day. Got the world on my mind. Ain't no time to play. Chasing dreams.
That's happening now. West Virginia Wire. Regina Reacts.
We're the watchdogs.
All right, everybody, welcome back to West Virginia Wire. My name is Regina Connell, and if you saw up on the screen, the thumbnail is families can be deported together. That's what we're going to be diving in today, jumping in feet first. All right, guys, before we jump in feet first into this presser with Caroline Leavitt and Tom Homan, we're going to take a trip back in time before the election, just before the election, where Tom Homan gave an interview to 60 Minutes. And at that time, he was the acting border czar. All right, guys, let's jump into this.
But listen to this. Homan had this to say to 60 Minutes just days before Donald Trump won the election.
I hear a lot of people say, the talk of a mass deportation is racist. It's threatening to the immigrant community. It's not threatening to the immigrant community. It should be threatening to the illegal immigrant community. But on the heels of historic illegal immigration crisis, that has to be done.
What would the largest deportation in American history look like to you?
Well, let me tell you what's not going to be first. It's not going to be a mass sweep of neighborhoods. It's not going to be building concentration camps. I've read it all. It's ridiculous.
But if mass deportation is not going to be, as you said, massive sweeps and concentration camps,
There'll be concentration.
What is it?
There'll be targeted arrest.
He was also asked by our reporter there, what about separating families? He said families can be deported together.
All right, you guys, we are going to start the press conference right now with Tom Homan and Caroline Leavitt. This was held on Monday, April the 28th. And I love the statements. I love what we just watched and being able to bring it forward and to see what has been accomplished in the first 100 days that President Trump has been in office. And this is absolutely what we voted for.
Good to see you bright and early on this Monday morning. As you know, this week marks the first 100 days of the Trump presidency. And President Trump's first 100 days have undoubtedly been the most monumental and historic of any administration in American history. President Trump has already delivered on hundreds of promises he made to the American people, and we will continue to talk about all of them throughout this week. Heroic ICE and CBP officers finally have a president who has their backs and is allowing them to do the jobs they signed up to do. There's no person who can attest to that more than our incredible border czar here at the White House, Tom Homan, who has dedicated his professional career to protecting our country and enforcing the law. I will let Tom deliver some short remarks, and then we'll open it up for questions today. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Look, I started in the Border Patrol in 1984. I've been at this for over 40 years. I worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president ever worked for took border security seriously because you can't have national security if you don't have strong border security. We got to know who's coming in, what's coming in, where's coming in, why it's coming in, right? Even President Obama and President Clinton took some steps to secure the border because they understood national security was important. Joe Biden was the first president in the history of this nation who came in office and unsecured a border on purpose. That's just a fact. We handed the Biden administration, after President Trump's first administration, we handed the Biden administration the most secure border in my lifetime, and he unsecured it on purpose. Now, President Trump and this administration here, their success is unprecedented. We beat Trump's first administration on border success. Border numbers are historic low. Today, as I'm standing here, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation.
He's about to throw out some stats, y'all. Listen up.
President Trump's policies are saving lives every day. There's been studies done that says 31% of women that make that journey through use of cartels get sexually assaulted. When President Trump has illegal immigration down 96%, when 96% less people are coming, how many women aren't being sexually assaulted by the cartels? How many children aren't dying?
And I really want to double down on what he's saying, that, they're called coyotes when they come through, and they extort families for money. They will tell them they'll get them here, have them held somewhere, and then tell them, oh, you have to give more money. And I think that even happened with the baseball player. I can't remember which country he was from, but I'll try to dig that up. So let's continue listening to what he has to say.
Across an open border. President Trump's policy saves lives every day. Even the border wall saves lives. If people want to hate on the border wall, every place a border barrier has been built, illegal migration's declined, illegal drug flows decline. But you know what no one talks about? The border wall saves lives. Because the most vulnerable, the women and children, can't get over that wall, which means they're going to a place where there's not a wall. And what's waiting on them? The men and women of the United States Border Patrol who will take care of those humanitarian needs, the health needs right off the bat. We just want the numbers. Let me talk.
And I will say that, with what he's saying, it is more dangerous. We're not talking about just United States citizens, American citizens. It's dangerous for them, too, on both sides. They're coming into a country where they don't understand the culture. They barely speak the language. What would happen if we did the same thing in another country? And there are people that are doing that right now for TikTok clicks and all that stuff. No, we must start with a secure border. We need the deterrent. A wall is a deterrent. Let's keep going. And it is the safest deterrent, in my opinion. Let's keep going.
Under Biden administration, we averaged over 11,000 many days, over 12,000, even some days 15,000 illegal entrants in the United States. 15,000. You know what the number was the last 24 hours? 178.
That's amazing.
15,000 to 178. Unprecedented success. On an average day in the Biden administration, known gotaways, people we knew crossed the border because they're on video, drone traffic, or sensor traffic. Crossed the border, weren't apprehended, weren't fingerprinted, weren't vetted. Average day on the Joe Biden, more than 1,800 gotaways. Yesterday, 38.
38.
38 too many? We'll get that to zero. But we went from 1,800 to 38. And finally, that was said earlier, under the first 100 days, what was actually January 20th to April 1st, last year, 184,000 illegal aliens were released into the United States. Under this administration, 9. 4 of them were material witnesses in a criminal investigation. We need them here to testify in a serious criminal trial. 4 was extreme medical condition. We couldn't return them because they were in such bad shape. And 1 was a humanitarian issue. This is unprecedented success. The border secured. President Trump saving lives. Because any public official, whether you're mayor, city councilman, or governor, their number one responsibility is protection of the communities. And ICE has been clear, we're targeting public safety threats and national security threats. I can't believe there's any elected official, and especially a judge, that doesn't believe we should be doing that, and they should be helping us. What I said from day one, you can sit aside and watch, you can argue against us all you want and protest all you want, but when you cross that line, I've said this 1,000 times, when you cross that line to impediment or knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien from ICE, you will be prosecuted, judge or not. And as far as releasing so many people, you know why the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States? No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed at $127 a night rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose, because when you put them in an ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings could be 5, 7, 9 years if you pull out all appeals. And what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration is in power.
Yep.
They can award an amnesty to millions.
And you guys, I cannot stress enough, that is why they have been pushing for mail-in ballots. They have been pushing that you don't have to show proper identification. You don't even have to show that you're a United States citizen in order to vote. What does that speak to you? Let's keep going.
This is about selling this country out for future political power.
Amen.
That's what it was. The law clearly says if you arrive at our border without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not maybe, not think about it, shall. And that's what President Trump's doing. Catch and release is over.
Sure.
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Homan, talking about the border wall, can you give us an update as far as how many miles are being built today? And is Mexico paying for it, as the president said they were going to?
You're going to love this
Well,
response.
first of all, I'll answer that question because I already answered it in my opening remarks. To date, since January 1st, there's been more than 85 miles of new border wall construction in various stages of that construction and planning. The president has made it clear to Congress that we want to see more funding for not just border wall construction, but also to support our ICE agents and our Border Patrol agents who are on the ground facilitating with this mass deportation effort.
So he's clear that Mexico is not going to pay for it? Is that what you're saying?
Let's address that. Trump said Mexico will pay for the wall. They haven't.
Okay, he's going to address this, but I want to address something myself, right? So they keep asking this question regarding the border. All right, guys, and I really want to double down on the fact that it does cost money to keep all these programs in place. And this is for the security of our nations, right? This is why it's even of more paramount importance that we, on our local level, local communities, counties, cities, states, all of that are able to be self-sustaining and not heavily reliant on the federal government. If we invite new businesses into our local states, counties, and communities, I mean, I'm just bursting with ideas of things that we can do here in the holler that could be lucrative, not only for us, but for our county, our city, which is unincorporated. It could pay for things that we won't have to be reliant on the federal government, so that the money coming in from the federal government can do what it's supposed to do, keep our borders secure, lend a hand when it's needed, not that it's relied upon. So let's finish listening to what Mr. Holman is about to respond with.
So he's clear that Mexico is not going to pay for it? Is that what you're saying?
Let's address that. Trump said Mexico will pay for the wall. They have in a roundabout way, have they not? Putting 10,000 military on the northern and southern border, taking the action they did remain in Mexico. They didn't have to do that. They're doing it. Putting military on the southern border. Have moved illegal immigration to a record low. We're saving millions of dollars every day on detention, transportation, removal proceedings. We've more than made up for the cost of that wall because the actions of Mexico. Does Mexico help build that wall? Yeah, because we're saving so much money. Millions of dollars. Cops need to help cops, especially in an emergency situation. But they got discipline. And I met those officers down in Nashville soon after that. I think it was a couple of days after it. And I told them,
so basically what he's saying is they call all of them in when they need their help. And then when they decide they want to sell their land, sell their seat to foreign entities, just all out of greed and money, and then they have a problem they can't control, well, then they call in the ICE agents. Then when the ICE agents are put in a position, or any law enforcement agent put in a position to have to enforce the law, well, the administration is trying to get everything back, and these cities and rogue judges and all of that are putting these agents' lives and their citizens in danger.
It's like Fort Bliss in Texas.
well, we're already housing at Guantanamo. Fort Bliss is being ramped up, so
Texas.
in the community, I'm showing support for them. because the community wants their police officers to be officers too.
Mr. Homan, how close are you to housing migrants at U.S. DoD facilities like Fort Bliss in Texas?
Well, we're already housing at Guantanamo. Fort Bliss is being ramped up, so in the very near future. I don't have a timetable because things need to be done, construction needs to be done. We're making sure the facilities are ready to accept. We're making sure the facilities are able to care for the people.
Proposals, we still don't know who they are from or what they contain. What is the holdup with that?
There's no holdup. We're working around the clock. The trade team is working all day. I was on the phone late last night with Secretary Lutnick. I was on the phone this weekend as well with Secretary Bessent. I mean, the entire team is working 24/7 to get these trade deals done. And
go check out my other video on the trade deals.
I don't want to get ahead of the trade team or the president in announcing.
Yeah, go check out the press conference with Scott Bessent. That's on my other video.
And fair trade deals on behalf of the American worker.
And one more. After the president's Truth Social post, the Browns finally took Shadur Sanders. Does the president think he deserves credit for Sanders getting picked? And does he think going to the Browns is better than being undrafted?
Hey, I'm gonna.
I will say that, of course, the president, and I like the way she answers this because I love the way he trolls the press and all of that. I am the chosen one. You are the chosen one because we chose you when we elected you.
All I will say is the president put out a statement, and a few rounds later, he was drafted. So I think the facts speak for themselves on that one, Peter. We'll go to.
Are you ready to take control of your health and wellness? Introducing Tranont Health Products, a premium line of nutrition and wellness supplements designed to support your body's natural balance. From essential vitamins and minerals to advanced detox formulas, Tramont's products are crafted with the highest quality ingredients to help you feel your best every day. Whether you're looking to boost energy, improve digestion, or support immune health, Tranont has something for everyone. Take the first step toward a healthier you with Tranont. Visit www.tranont.com/Regina Cannell to learn more and start your wellness journey today.
Rise and shine. It's a brand new day. Got the world on my mind. Ain't no time to play. Chasing dreams, running fast, feeling no delay. We're the watchdogs, always watching what they say. Eyes wide open, we're taking what's ours. Breaking through the silence, aiming for the stars.